things that I went through, actually everybody went through that. If it's no meal allowance, everybody went through that. If it's tear gas from the cops, everybody was tear gassed. My name's Wadam Longa. I'm a teacher by profession. I'm a teacher of mathematics. I actually teach ordinary mathematics and additional mathematics. Therefore, I handle classes from grade 10 up to grade 12. I've been teaching mathematics for quite some time now, because I think my first class was in 2011, somewhere there. So I'm talking about a period of somewhere 9 years. Oh yes, the issue of the Copperbelt University. I'm actually a product of the Copperbelt University. I did my bachelor's degree in mathematics at the Copperbelt University, CBU, in Kitwe. I went to the Copperbelt University in the year 2008. That was on the 27th of April 2008. That's when I reported as a first year student. Initially, I did not plan to go to CBU because at first I didn't know much about the university. I thought they're just business courses, business studies that are there. So my main focus was to go for something to do with mathematics. That is exactly the mathematics I do. Mathematics teaching, yes, there is some mathematics in business, but I just wanted to do purely mathematics. So by the time I finished my secondary school, I didn't know much about CBU. So I wanted to go to UNZA at first. However, someone told me that there's a new program at CBU, and even you can still be enrolled at CBU. So I went, I applied, and I was picked. And then, to some extent, I knew that I didn't have sponsorship, but I targeted UNZA because I knew that there were bursaries at that point. But at CBU, I didn't know again that there were bursaries at the university. However, I was guided properly, and people told me that once you are accepted, you can apply for a bursary so that you can also have sponsorship. There, I applied, and then I was picked. Just on the first selection, I was picked and I was given 100% bursary. I wouldn't say I was pushed in any way because I didn't know anybody. I only had a few friends that I was interacting with from the same university. Therefore, I didn't know anybody. I just applied randomly, and I was given 100% sponsorship. So from the year 2008 up to the time I graduated, I was sponsored by the government under the bursaries committee. Have to pay back because it's actually a loan scheme. However, a sponsorship is acquired just through applications, and then the foundation or the basic thing that someone must lay on the floor is to get the good results at grade 12. So once you have your good results at grade 12, and then you have some recommendations, especially from maybe the social welfare, even the school where you were doing your grade 12 and all that, from the church and other places, you can apply and be accepted. Yeah, actually, even the church can still say, no, this person is coming from a poor family, so they can recommend you for 100% and all that. So I went through that for myself. I had to apply and I was accepted. In my case, yes, I lost my dad when I was just in grade 10, so I had the certificate, the death certificate. I attached it and some other documents from the church and even the school where I was. So I had to attach those documents. Then I was accepted and was given 100% bursary. So if you are in secondary school this time around, what is important is to make sure that you start very hard so that you get good results. Because I'm talking about a situation where maybe someone has 28 points and you want to apply at CBU, you'll not be accepted. However, you can have good results, be accepted, and also be given sponsorship by the government. So what is important is to start very hard this time around. Without good results especially, I don't think I would have gotten my sponsorship. When it comes to why I had to pick on mathematics, it's actually something that I decided a long time ago. I might say I did not know that I would be at CBU at first, but I knew that I would do something to do with mathematics in future. Because way back at secondary school, I loved mathematics so much owing to the foundation which I had from home. My father was a mathematics teacher. May he so rest in peace. He was a very good mathematics teacher, I should testify, and at some point he taught me. So I really admired him, and I said, no, I have to go for something like this. Due to the love of the mathematics I had at secondary school, I had to continue with mathematics even when I went to CBU. So in my first year, um, yes, we were under the School of Mathematics and Natural Sciences. There, you can do biology, you can do physics, you can do chemistry, you can do mathematics. So there were 4 branches, but I really wanted to go for mathematics. What it is, in first year, you just do all the mathematics. You can you even do biology, chemistry, and all those things I've mentioned, and other educational courses, including computer studies. Then in the second year, if you're going for mathematics, if you're under the School of Education, the school where I was, you are actually going to be learning just as a team that is under that school, because at first year we are combined even with engineers. Then in second year we remained as a class, that is a class for the would-be teachers. So then in third year, that's when we specialized now. So in third year, just term 1, we were doing 3 types of mathematics, but it was just mathematics. Then there were some other educational courses. So us who majored in mathematics, we are now just learning mathematics, but it was not just one mathematics. Remember, we had the statistics, we had the algebra, we had the calculus, and all that. Then in third year, also other forms of mathematics. There's a lot of mathematics in this world. So then we majored just like there at third year, and we put through to fourth year until the graduation. So I had to do mathematics because the main influence was my father, though he was not there at the time I was doing mathematics. But that was the influence. There came a lot of influence from my father. I really admired the way he was doing his thing. Though at that time, it didn't go up to degree level like I did. He only had they used to call it advanced diploma from some, I think it should be COSECO, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he went up to that level, had to go up to degree level, and I'm still going, I'm sure of that. Oh, when it comes to pressure at CBU, CBU is not a friendly place when it comes to pressure. The place is actually, when you just go there, you feel that you are part of the intellectuals. That is one thing. And when you start feeling that, you get to adjust yourself to a point where you have to succeed with everybody, though it's not that everyone has to succeed. So then, the pressure that CBU comes with actually sharpens everybody. When you go there, you know that if I fail, I'll go back home. When I go back home, I will not be given any document to actually help me get a job of some sort. So when you fail, you go back home, you go back to the people that you said, no, I've gone to CBU now and all that. So immediately I went there, I had to adjust myself to say, I have to come out of this place as a graduate. In first year, I was so scared of school because the pressure was just too much. I didn't have the strategy on how to study, though we had these senior students who would say, no, you know, you get used and all that. And then we also had bullies who used to call us freshers, and all that. But all that did not negatively affect me. The worry I had actually pushed me. It was a drive because I had to make sure that I study. Because you know, if you do your part, God has to do the rest. So as long as you study, then God is going to do the rest. The promise of God is to bless the works of our hands. So first of all, work with your hands. When you work, you expect God to bless you. So the pressure has to be handled by an individual, not by the class. Somebody's strategy of studying might be different from another person's. Like for myself, I might not be on the book for the whole day, but if I have to spend some time on the book, I'll actually understand there and there. Then we also have friends who have to be continuously just on the book, studying like that. That is their way of doing things also. So when you go there, you need to suit yourself. How do I study? How do I get to understand? So if you say no, me, I'll just be studying for 30 minutes, I think CBU does not accommodate such people. Because there you can even study for 5 continuous hours depending on the pressure. Then there are people who would go to study every day, and there are those guys who would go drink chibuku outside. They will still come back and study. Then there are some of us, like in my case, if I go out and drink chibuku, I would not come back and study. I'm talking about chibuku because actually we used to do that. There's a place called, we used to call it Pa Cross. We would go there, we buy shake, we have fun to just socialize. When you come back, there are some of us who didn't study, you go direct to sleep. But there are monks who would come from there, then they'll go and study. So we are different. When you see such monks going there, you should not go, because you know that when I come back, I will not study. But let me stay back so that I freshen up, I go and study for as long as I can study. That is how it used to be. So pressure comes from all angles at any university, but I'm talking about CBU because specifically I was there. Pressure, there is pressure. There used to be pressure of meal allowances. There used to be pressure of academics. There used to be pressure of all sorts of things. So it's a question of making sure that you stand your grounds. We used to have peer pressure and all that. Sometimes you could want to study in the room, then your roomie is cooking. So then how do you handle that? You could be in the room studying, then someone is making noise outside. That is also pressure. You could write your nice lab report and all those things, then you get less results. That is also pressure. So how do you handle that pressure? Entirely depends on you. You have to make sure that you stand your grounds, you know why you are there, and you should not accept to fail at any point. Because for you to reach even first year, even registration at CBU, to just complete registration, it's more like just completing a course at some college of some sort, because there are a lot of things that you are supposed to do as a first year student. So even just after registration, you are already equipping your mind with handling pressure. So as to handle pressure like that. Then when it comes to social life, I think I've mentioned one of them. We used to go out with friends. We have this fun time. We could go to Chipata compound there, in those to Mashantis and all that. Then we come back. I didn't have much to do with my spare time because really I used to be a very shy person, of which I'm still that shy to some extent. So I was not involved in maybe some of the things that people could do. Not that I was humble and all that. I've said I used to be very shy. Basically, maybe the other thing that I used to do, I used to actually do a lot of training myself, just to work out. I would go to the football pitch, do some running, rope jumping here and there. Then we also had a gym in a block called the C block, the famous block at CBU. I would go to the gym, I do some weightlifting and all that. Then I come back, I freshen up, I go to study and all that. However, the place is a nice place. It's in a very friendly place because everybody at that place comes there to do one thing, and that thing is to be in school. So we used to care about each other. Even when you do not have food in your room, we could go to this person's room, especially if you're friends, of course. We could go there, we dive. We used to call it dive. When you eat something from another room, we used to call it diving. So we could go and dive, we eat, it's just like that. So there's nothing like we never used to have, because I got to know about this tribalism kind of arrangement after I graduated, I think. Because there we mixed with everybody. We mixed with everybody. And people that chose not to mix with others are the people that actually failed. Because there you do not know everything. There's someone who really knows what you do not know. So what do? You go to that person, you get data. We used to call it data. You do not study alone. You can't do everything at CBU alone. You do things through others. So through that, we managed to pull out. Even as I speak right now, I have a lot of friends that I got to meet through CPU. I don't think there's a town in Zambia where I can go where there's no product of CPU, or there's no one who was at CPU at the time I was at CPU. We might not have known each other closely, but the fact is, in each town in Zambia, even in rural places, actually there's someone from CPU, because CPU has really produced a lot of individuals. But though I might condemn some of the things that happened at the time when I was there, but I know when you are not there, you are out. You blame everything that happens at the institution on the students. No, but most of the things that students maybe might participate in, there are reasons that favors them. So it's not that people just do this and do that. No, but people see it like that, especially those who have had no opportunity to go there. This is why it's important that maybe in future, if you did not manage to go there, when I say there, I'm even referring to other universities, because I cannot mention all the universities at the same time. So if you did not go there, your child can go there, of course. Your niece can go there, your nephew can go there. Even you personally, if you want to further your studies, you can still go there. So that when you go there, you are going to have a feel of how we felt when we were there, and how these students who are still there are feeling. There's so much prestige in being there, being at the university. There's so much prestige, but prestige with CPU comes at a cost, and the cost is to study hard, so that the first year you clear, second year you clear, third year you clear, fourth year just like that. As long as you are not clearing, then where's the pride? There's no pride in failure. That's why everyone must make sure that you discover yourself before you mess up at CPU. You discover yourself. How do I study? How is my studying going to be done? When it comes to the people that influenced me a lot, when you talk about lecturers at CPU, I might not mention names because everybody played a role. But one thing that is for real is we had the lecturers who really inspired us, especially lecturers who came from a teaching background. I'm talking about maybe a lecturer who was at some point a secondary school teacher, or maybe a primary school teacher, and has been upgraded to that level. Those people, they influenced me a lot, because they could talk about the real things that I'm going to face and I'm facing right now. So everybody played a role. I do not have anyone to subtract from my experience. There were a lot of bad experiences, especially when we had riots and times when we could have no meals, no meal allowances. Yes, but if I recall very well, I had a good stay at CPU. I had a good stay at the university. And then if you ask me to say the moment where I didn't like it and all that, I will not point one, because they could be many. I wouldn't point one because they could be many. But all in all, everything was pointing to my success. I had to go through all those things so that I see what I can do. As long as I manage to get out of any situation, I should not complain this time around, because I'm no longer going back to such a situation. And everyone who is still there actually knows that they're going through stuff, and they will pull out, because an intellectual must always find a way out. Like with the people who were handling us, we did not have that close friendship with our lecturers. No. So we only used to meet in class, and that's all. So you do not even know what this person is thinking. The only thing that you are concerned about is what they are teaching, that's all. So we never had those moments where you can go and bribe a lecturer, and I don't think those people can be bribed. Most of them were not friendly, and as such, even when you meet in the street, you might not even say hi. It's very difficult to do that. So no. Oh, when it comes to my most difficult moments at the university, I would say that especially in my first year, I didn't have accommodation. And I was coming from Chimoemwe to the university. There in Chimoemwe, I used to stay with my sister, my cousin sister. So she used to give me transport to and from the university every day. But with the CBU arrangement, sometimes we could have a class as early as 6 hours. So I was supposed to wake up before that 6 hours. That 04 Shan, I'm awake, I bath, I go to the station, then I reach the university. Then when you go to university, because in a day we used to have mostly 3 classes, because each class was going for a period of 2 hours for full courses. So we could have a class up to 10, then another class up to somewhere 12 somewhere. Then another class maybe at 14 hours. So if I move from Chimoemwe, I would stay in the university without going to any room at that time, because I didn't know most of the people that could assist me in that context. So I had a tough time during that time to travel every day, and sometimes I could use a bicycle from Chimoemwe, using the Kwacha Road to the university and going back just like that. But you know, for a CBU student to do that, some kind of it's embarrassing to some extent. So the whole first 2 months or so of my first year, I didn't have accommodation. The issue to do with feeding at CBU, I think the arrangement is just okay. And like feeding the students by the university. I'm talking about the time when I was there. I don't know what happens this time. Otherwise, for us, we are given meal allowances. Then we could buy our own food. We could cook in our own rooms. Though, according to the rules, you are not allowed to cook from the room. But we used to cook from there. And then, you know, it was nice because you can cook at your own time. You can cook anything that you want to cook. So sometimes we could even start cooking beans at 01, something like that. Sometimes we go and wash clothes at 24 hours while beans is boiling somewhere there. And then it used to be frustrating, especially to the roommates. You want to sleep, then your roommate is cooking. But all in all, it was a very nice experience that we had even through that, because we learned to actually take care of ourselves, even as men, such that even after graduation we stayed a bit. Maybe you are just alone, though I'm not alone this time around, I'm a married man. But we got some experience even through that, because to some extent, if someone was meant not to cook for himself or herself, you're just waiting for this person to do things for you. It's not a good training. You need to be trained authentically, or holistically, if I should say. So to be trained holistically, you should even be trained how to cook, even to take care of yourself. Just before I graduated, I joined a college where I was working on part-time, because then I had remained with just my project and some other thing to do at CBU. So I had so much time. So before graduation, I actually started working at a college that kept me very well, and the college is still in existence. It's actually, it has branches, though I might not mention the college itself, but the people that knows me knows the college that I'm talking about. I was taken care of through that, because I started working. I had to take care of myself. I could actually rent a house on my own, and then I could actually even help my siblings in some way, even my parents. Then after just graduation, I did not stay in the streets, because then I graduated and got a job in the government. I got a job as mathematics teacher, like I said in my introduction. Right now, I have a lot to think about. I have to come up with something, because I'm so much involved in e-learning, and I'm trying to discover things that I can really do, such that I can be able to teach actually without my presence. Someone should be able to learn through me without my presence. And then I would say that besides just the teaching that I do in class and all that, I'm one person who has been equipped with certain skills through what I went through at CBU. I'm not just trained to teach on the board. I'm also trained. I've trained myself actually to teach online using WhatsApp. There are a lot of people that I'm teaching right now using WhatsApp because of the computer skills that I got from CBU. I'm able to teach people from wherever they are, and that's why I had to open up the YouTube channel, because I want to advance my teaching from class to WhatsApp, then from WhatsApp to YouTube, because I'm sure YouTube is more permanent than WhatsApp. It's even more permanent than the class, because in class what you write on the board, you clean the board, meaning that is gone. But when I teach on YouTube, what I put in the video will remain there for as long as I want it to be there. As long as there's no disturbance, it will still be there. So I'm one person who appreciates the pressure that I was subjected to at CBU, because it has made me who I am. And I also appreciate the fact that God was on my side. I always used to say that God is the foundation of my education and my life. And for that matter, this time around, I would say that I'm really achieving things that I planned to achieve by the grace of God. So things are happening, and I really appreciate to everyone who sponsored me. To my friends out there, especially the people that I was with at CBU, they can attest to this. They can attest to this. Most of the things that I went through, actually everybody went through that. If it's no meal allowance, everybody went through that. If it's tear gas from the cops, everybody was tear gassed. But thank God we are here, and we even have friends who are now cops. They are friends now. This time around, they cannot just come and tear gas me. They are my friends. They have to say, Mr. Mlonga, I have this child and this child wants mathematics. So there we coexist.